Hello Collective, thanks for joining me. I hope you are all doing well. So as always, thank you to those who have continued to support my channel and welcome to those who are new. So going to just take a look at what messages are coming through for you to look out for. And as always, just take that makes sense to you. Don't make it fit. Yeah, so making something fit. So forcing a direction or a manipulation in a direction, being guided. Okay. All right, so we've got the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, so, okay, let's take a look. I've got a few things coming forward. Okay, so it feels like there's a situation that is linked to the past. We've got King of Cups in the reverse, so someone in their emotions, it's like someone not wanting you to go over the past or remember something from the past. So yeah, steering you in a different direction. So there's something going on behind the scenes. It feels like subliminal or subtle. It's supposed to have your attention on one thing, obviously, but really it's taking the attention away. So there's a distraction that's in play. So it feels that there could be a focus on a relationship, a separation, or coming back together. That feels like the distraction. Whereas behind the scenes, somebody is worrying that you're going to piece together something connecting to the past. So a cycle could be repeating. So many of you that are re-looping again will be going round with full awareness. You know that you've been there before, so remember to collect all of the information that you need, or you may have already done that. But this feels like something that was, has been forgotten, or they're hoping that it's been buried. Something along those lines. Let's just see. So message being carried about, that feels like the distraction, like you're supposed to be looking for someone's coming forward with a message, or someone's coming forward with a truth. That feels like it's the red herring, or what you're supposed to focus your attention on or drain your energy trying to work something out. But the more that you're focused on whatever this is trying to be, really it's pulling you further away from something in the past that you're supposed to be remembering. So with that Ace of Wands, it feels, also it feels for some of you that it could be if you're doing a re-loop or going back round in another cycle, it feels like what the focus is trying to steer away from, maybe you picking up on it now, especially if you're intuitive, that it's too early for you to know that or to remember. So what it feels I'm trying to say is, if you imagine that, like we're saying with the certain tarot readers are trying, they work on a cycle. So it's like angel investors gonna come and invest into you. So you're in a receptive stage, something along those lines. Or there's another cycle that it will be something else, new love or an old love coming back. They need to stick to a script and a cycle. So if you're picking up on something that's maybe you're remembering from a previous cycle that you've been in that's the same, if you're picking up on something, you may be spoiling their tactics or their plans because you're either ahead of the game or you're bringing awareness to something and it's not that time for that script to be introduced. Something like that. Hope that makes sense. So with this Knight of Wands, it feels like a message coming forward, or that's what you're being told. So an expectation. Yeah, look, love begins. So a message about remending a bridge or healing something. So a reconciliation. So the expectation of a message coming forward, which this feels for me like it's the distraction, so that you're in a waiting hanged man position, which will always be the role of the planted readers. They need you to re-loop back round again. So something about a message of love beginning or re-healing or something along those lines. So it's to do with a decision of either staying away or coming back together with someone, a decision needing to be made about a relationship dynamic. So it doesn't have to be romantic, it could be a work situation. So you could have someone from the past. So let's just say, for example purposes, you're picking up a lot in tarot that's suggesting a re-healing of a situation. So you're open, receptive, still guessing who could it be or whatever. It's not the actual thing that you're supposed to be steering away from. It's a decoy is the word I'm looking for. So you're in this stage, but the feeling is what you're supposed to be forgetting is to do with either an old job that you were at, or someone you used to work with, or a relationship dynamics. There's a clue there, it feels, for you. Accelerated motion. So something either took off quickly or it ended suddenly. Whatever this represents for you, this is the decoy, but there is a clue within it because it links to the past. So the energy is going to be based on familiarity. So I'm getting something about as well to do with dreams, but it doesn't feel like when you're asleep type dreams. It may be something that hooks into a desire or a want, which is always like the people coming in to help or something like that. That's got to give you something that you need. So this feels like if it was on like a micro macro. So when the readings were heavily focused on recognizing something in your immediate environment, and then it's the same playing out on the big screen, let's say. So it's something about provoking or invoking your emotions tied to a desire or dreams or something that you want. So something dangled on a carrot or yeah, so if this is like a message of rehealing something, it would be like dangling a carrot. There's a waiting or keeping you in that limbo state in the hope or expectation that you're going to get something that you want. You just need to wait a little bit longer. And whilst you're in that state, you're being guided or rerouted, which is the relooping, rerouted elsewhere on a different pathway, different timeline. Remember the buzzwords that are moving around at the minute, so they'll be tapping into that. So let's see what this King of Cups is in their emotions about. Flip the roles as you may need. Because if you're a masculine, then this could be a Queen of Cups in the reverse. Whatever it is, the main message will be the same. Yeah, memories of love. So, again, it's referencing something in the past. So, if you were to cast your mind back, I'm being shown 2023 is very significant for you, or February, March, February, whether it's February or March of this year or last year, something around that time. So it would be whatever job you were doing at that time, or whoever you were working with, or something that you wanted, and maybe you're still waiting for that now. It's a masculine, just reading it from the energy I'm getting here. Someone doesn't want you to remember something that either they promised back then, something that wasn't delivered. Yeah, look, the Tower, disruption. Okay, so whoever this message is for, and it feels like it could be a group of you, or it could be a situation that's coming up in the tarot or is about to start representing. Because with that disruption, I was being shown this group that we're all picking up on within the tarot that are doing like spell work or mind manipulation or manipulation of choices. Yeah, so the Lovers, something, yeah, someone needs to, or a group are working collectively, so they could be targeting many people because we're seeing the micro macro, but let's just keep it small for the minute. Someone needs to change your mind quickly or get you to choose something quickly or make a quick decision, but it's going to cause it'll cause disruption if you remember whatever it is they need you to forget. It's going to cause disruption for them. So they need you staying focused on relationship dynamics or whatever this red herring is. Stand your ground. Rest and rejuvenation. Intuition. Fertility. Recognition and reward. Yeah. Okay, so it feels to me that if you experienced some kind of targeting from a group, and maybe you're not sure where did it come from or why, you would be being made to believe it's to do with a relationship dynamics. Whereas what's coming forward, especially if you are someone that does tarot, or you were, so someone could have passed away. All right, so something about you being highly intuitive. It feels like you were being watched from the inside, so an inner circle. So it's linking to something you do for work. You would be seeing like clients or working with the general public, something like that, maybe a speaking role. So yeah, so you're communicating with the general public, let's just say, whatever that may be, or speaking your truth. That's making someone really nervous, because the original start point of whatever you've experienced, or if you're just going through it now, it's not to do with a relationship, it's to do with something that you were picking up on, and they need to make sure that you forget it. So I keep getting like, say, match fixing. You may not have been into football, just as an example purposes, or some kind of sports. You may not be a sporty type person, but something you've picked up on, or maybe you've spoken out loud, has triggered a panic in a masculine. So that's just for some of you, linking to the past, connected to emotions. Whatever this is, it's linking to a new beginning. So by you heading in a different direction, or staying on course in the direction that you're meant to intuitively follow in, by them not being able to throw you back into being focused here, is a tower moment for them. My feel is, if we're looking at something that links back to 2023, there is a good chance that you were at a stage of practically forgetting about something. So standing your ground. So if you're feeling that you've disconnected from your past, you're being guided to stay with that, because whatever message is coming forward, it won't be something that's going to divulge a whole truth and everything will slot into place. It feels you already intuitively have the answers that you need, which is why you're being moved forward. There's a recognition that you know you're being guided to protect your peace, which doesn't mean going back to closed out cycles that were disturbing your peace. So stand your ground, protect your peace. You're being guided from a higher power, whatever that is that you tap into. This memories of love, connecting to a masculine that's in their feelings, is because there's not anything that's good linking to whatever what that was, whether it was a boss or a partner or a friendship, something like that. They know that you're onto them, which is the recognition and reward. So this person's either trying to keep a really low profile. So there's something about timings and loops. So you could be coming up to a familiar period of time, which would mean this is why they've gone quiet or something's gone silent, so that you forget about the past, ready for you to be primed for whatever this new beginning or fake message or fake approach, whatever that is. Something's linking. It feels like either for some of you, you're intuitively picking up on that, so they've had to pull out of your energy, or they've pulled out of your energy ready for the reapproach, or to make you believe that that's who's reapproaching. They need you to stay focused on that, because this is something that's a real problem if you piece something together. So fertility, so there's a need for you, or there was a need, or they're trying to avoid you remembering about how they've influenced a decision that you made, a decision to do with a new beginning of some kind. If you think back to cycles throughout the year, this has given me a feeling of, so when I was touching then on sports and then I got redirected, that's an example of what may be happening. You're intuitively picking up on something, but as you're following that thread, you just get redirected elsewhere. So something is happening to you that's very subtle, and you're being guided to stick to your plan and stay focused. There's nothing that should be pulling you off track right now, because you are very close to working something out, or a major discovery coming into play. You're being pulled away from whatever this manipulation is, and it's going to be a massive backfire that links to some kind of emotional manipulation that happened in the past. It feels like it's to do with rigging something, or manipulating something, maybe being disguised as fixing something. Let me just try and break that down a little bit clearer. Something to do with the... I'm getting... Indiana feels significant. Vancouver feels significant. A lakeside house. And anxiety, that it's like if you're not sure who it would be coming back into your life, or a reconnection or something like that, that's eating into your energy for you to be trying to work out what that is, know that it's not going to happen, because it will cause too much of a tower moment for a whole group to really, really be dismantled. It feels that there's a male and a female that you probably wouldn't connect together that are linked. And there's something about either Indiana or Vancouver that links them. That's for some of you, or something like that. So they may live overseas, away from each other, but they know people that are the same. So whether you're able to prove that or not, or you're being guided as you're moving forward, keep your eyes open for something like that. So we've got fishing for comments. So they're looking for if you're picking up on it, or whether you're receptive to that, or who is it that you're expecting to come forward, and they can play on that, fuel that more. But remember, this is what you're being steered away from. Whatever the places that may be connected, doesn't have to be, but it's something that, like now, it's a bit of a time within the year. Yes, there's all chaos. It appears to be chaos going on in the environment, like socially, economically. But really, when you think, there's nothing really going on. You've got the same narrative stories being recycled and reworked. So that may be significant. Something being recycled because they need you to pick up on it and reroute it. So know that, like, when you get readers that post continuously new things, let's just say, then if you're meant to find that, you're meant to find it. It will be doing the rounds even up to a year later, different things. But to take a message and then say repost, repost, repost is manipulating spirit's guidance, if that makes sense. It's spirit will place a video in front of someone when needed. That's not for the reader to manipulate multiple versions so that the right person can get it. That's algorithm gaming. Does that make sense? So there may be something there. You might keep seeing something and think that it's a sign, but really it's been manipulated to catch your attention, like a synchronicity. So fishing for comments, there's a need to see where you're at. So someone can't get a proper read on whether you've taken the bait or whether you're able to be maneuvered in a different direction. Unfazed. So you're in a like a Zen place. You may even not be aware of what's going on at the minute because it does feel very subtle. So just know that if you're seeing this message and it's triggering something in a way that it's inspiring more thoughts and thinking, not in a bad negative way, but it starts things unfolding, know that your spirit team are alerting you to stay in this peaceful energy, because this is your everything to play is based on how rock solid you can keep your Zen state, your peace of mind, and your environment as least chaotic as possible. This is what is under attack from all angles. So in regards to cycles, it's like I know for a long time I've been picking up in about October is significant. It feels like nothing so much going on at the minute, because you could be being primed ready for October. So cast your mind back to 2024, 2023, something about February, March, August was always coming up. And then what was going on for you in October? There will be a cycle that stands out to you. It's something about there, one of those times that's trying to be hidden. It will link to a connection. That's how it feels. Yeah, I mean, were you watching something heavily around those times, or were you tapped into a particular influencer, let's say? Because it feels something like that, that you've picked up on something where either a group have been influencing people, maybe using some kind of spell work, or I'm saying spell work, but I'm wanting to say like a NLP, like mind programming. So you would have to be watching something consistently for it to keep being programmed into you. It's like, say, before Mr. T got in, people would have been watching, as we know, there was a scam group going around that used these very tactics. Those that were watching them thought that they were looking into things to do with extraterrestrials and insights like that. But really, what they were doing was swaying people's voting to get them to vote for Mr. T. Something like that, an orchestrated plan linking to the past that they want you to forget about, because it's about to come round again, but maybe the focus is elsewhere. So it's like a paid group, an organization that plot up and put a focus and attention, influencers, on a particular person or something to help them rise or get voted in or something along those lines. If you've picked up on something like that intuitively, or if you were speaking on it or heading down that direction, then you may well have come under attack for that very reason, but it would be made to look like something else. This is something, it feels, that's heavily in play all the time, and it works in cycles. So it's like everybody's votes swayed a particular way. Now that particular group have moved on to something else, and that part would be missed because it was so subtle the way that you were directed. So I suppose if people voted a different way to what they normally would with their interests in something, whatever it may be, it doesn't have to be that particular situation. It feels this is an occult group that's what they use, those tactics, on the audience that are watching them regularly. Influencers in that sense, but maybe you don't see them as that. You may identify them in a different way. It's like, oh, I'm not into celebrities and all of that thing. This is why they come in from a different angle, because they're capturing those that aren't into that. Does that make sense? Hopefully for some of you it will. So we've got into you. Yeah, so into you in the reverse. So there was a need to get you to believe they were doing something through love or genuine, but really the ulterior motives were for a bigger gain. That could be coming round again. So this could be the part that's hidden. And also as well, if you know that someone wasn't into you, or they're not, or you didn't get along, or the relationship, you went separate ways, regardless of whose decision, or whether it ended quickly, started quickly, and just phased out, whatever it may be, you already know on an intuitive level that that timeline's closed down, so there would be no need to reopen it. And especially if it's something that it's hovering over the possibility of, it could be this, it could be that, or whatever, that is the state that you're needing to be held in, because it's the hanged person position. This is where you're being anchored into position, and a group will be benefiting for that. So even if you switched it to that's one aspect, and say through tarot as the example, because that's what I do, so it's easier to use that as the example, and I'm not talking about this is what all readers do, but it keeps like a majority of people being looped round and round, because you're being hooked in on that narrative storyline, the possibility of someone coming back to heal something, mend something, or to give you answers that you already know. Why do you need someone to come back after a long period of time to tell you what you already know? It's not what the play is. There's something about like a disruption. So as things are calm before the storm, everything's settled down, you're protecting your peace, but you're lowering your guard emotionally, or you're healing, or you're doing whatever, you're on holiday, you've taken time away, and then moving forward, there's going to be something that invokes or provokes your emotions. And it's within your emotions being heightened that you're directed to take an action or make a quick decision. This is someone that doesn't have your best interests at heart. You intuitively already know this. Yeah. So we've got no facts, never has the facts, makes shit up, and lies. This is in the reverse. This is why we're getting that sense of you not going back to the past, not remembering or recognizing a familiarity or something that triggers your thinking or inspires you to look deeper, because what you have is actual facts. That's why you've been rerouted or maneuvered, because for you to consciously, not just intuitively, for you to piece some bits together, it's going to be detrimental to a group of people, the tactics that they've been using that have always either brought finances forward or have funneled a large group of people to whatever attention and focus they need it to be. With you having this facts, no facts in the reverse, they know that it can be proved what you're saying, and that's a problem. Let's see. Yeah. Something about your creativity that when you're stuck in this situation, you're not tapping into your creative flow. And that's how they know that they've got you, or fishing for comments, even if you're not a reader, but you're speaking in the comments about things that are coming up for you. It's showing where your head's at in that sense. So creativity, that they're not stealing anything from you in regards to ideas, because they're directing you where to go, but the energy flow is what they're taking. So you could be again focused on something like someone you used to work with or whatever it is. That's not it, but it's the energy that you're spending working that out or trying to, which is really what's being taken. Yeah, I just keep seeing like a funnel of people being like a focus group or something like that. Yeah, look, love on the brain. Dreaming, fantasizing, daydreaming, nostalgic. Whoever you are, if you're resonating with this message, there's a real something that is coming into your awareness, and it's about to drop as a realization. You're being guided to hold it to yourself for a minute, because there may be other bits for you to process for it to come through, but you're holding a key piece of like a false construct. It's like you shooting an arrow and just dispersing a whole wall coming down, but it's like a whole core group of people being dismantled on you remembering something from the past, or linking something, or linking to people that shouldn't be linked from the past. Love on the brain. They need you to focus on healing, rehealing something, forgiving something with someone that doesn't actually care if you forgive them or not, as long as you don't remember that. Somebody that's not even interested in making something work or whatever. They just need you to believe that there's a possibility that that's who this is talking about, for example. So yeah, so love on the brain would be put forward to you like they've got you on the brain. So this is the mind manipulation. Yeah, ego. Their ego's hurt, so that could be something that you've picked up on, some kind of rigging or fixing or manipulation, or getting you to hand your power over without you realizing that you're consenting to something, or turning it back like you did consent on taking action. Well, you chose to do this, not me. But whatever you've intuitively hit the nail on the head, for it to come out properly, or for you to really consciously get a grasp of what's gone on or what's happening, it's going to damage their ego with who they've portrayed themselves to be. So there could be narcissistic tendencies, someone not wanting to remove their mask because it suits them. If you're picking up on something, you could possibly be triggering this in another person that has gone through this experience with this masculine. I'm picking up two females around them that have either been like wingmen, for want of a better expression. They've definitely not worked alone. Yeah. Wolf in sheep's clothing. The feeling that comes forward is you may already be intuitively saying, but maybe like describing a person or something, but not actually piecing the two people together, that kind of thing. That's what they're worrying about. They know that you know what you need to know about them, but they're doing whatever they can to manipulate things around you so that you don't click on to the other person that they're linked to. Because once you click on and recognition and reward, once you recognize the other person, there's something that's similarity that links together that before you would have been unaware of. Once you can link that other person, that is a wolf in sheep's clothing. So it would be someone, if we're saying this is a masculine and the two wing people were feminines, these would be two people in your energy that you would never be suspecting would be linked to this person. Let's say this person could be from a particular country or could have gone on holiday to a particular country, and then the following year one of the females, or flip the roles, have gone there also, but they've both gone to the exact place. You could have a photograph from both of them in the same place, just maybe a different view behind them or wherever they are. But it being like the same house or hotel or something. Right. Yeah, Queen rising, stepping into power, praised, coming up, spotlight. So this could be male or female. It could link to that's what they do as a group. They bring people up into the spotlight and coming from all different angles and aspects, that it looks like someone's doing well, get people to invest in them, all of that. That's the funnel, the influence in the people's decisions. And then they move on to the next. Or this could be yourself and they've had to block you, stop you, because you're intuitively picking up on something that's going to expose their whole ring. So it needs to look like Crazy X or something like that, when really it's coming from elsewhere. So yeah, a little bit specific, but I'm being assured that it's going to make sense for either those that are already picking up on this energy or have been picking up on it. This feels like it will give you insight into the group, something about official person. Could be the wolf in sheep's clothing, being led to trust someone, but now the recognition that they were actually false. So this is either giving you clues to the group that are absolutely targeting readers. That much you can see within the comments of different people, or it's a message for yourself. We've got thief, wasting your time or stealing your energy of some kind. It's trying to keep you in a loop, something about cycles, times of year. Look back to last year, there may be something repetitive reaching out, or it's like a like I'm saying, someone went on holiday somewhere, and then the following year someone else linked, they went to the same place, something like that, but those two aren't supposed to have known each other. So something hidden in the background. Yeah. Sudden wealth. There's something being made off of the back of all the energy and where it's being redirected and funneled. Some kind of funding. Or money being made off of the back of influencing your decisions. Yeah. So yeah, I was just being shown with the example of a photograph. It's like, say if there was a hotel, for example, and then one person went there, and then another person that's not supposed to be linked also went there the following year. There could be something around the property or the hotel or where it was that they stayed, that they're trying to funnel business that way, but making it look like natural, or influencing for people to all go there, but without actually saying that. It's not like, oh, I'm doing a review on this place, everybody book and come here. It's something more subtle than that. This could be like a place that companies go or groups go, so they could run retreats there, or something to do with like wellness, well-being, or relaxation. Something, it could be like meditation. Yeah, change, trying to change your mind, or change direction, or change your focus that your intuition is telling you to keep moving forward with. And then false person, wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah. Occupation. Someone that you've worked with in the past, or something they do for work is connected. You're already onto it, and you're being directed to focus elsewhere, something like that. You'll know what's going on for you best. You're being told to stay on track because you're right there on it. You're about to see it or piece it, or whatever those clues are that you've just been given. Those are the things coming forward. But as you can see, there's something connecting in the past. Somebody that was really nice or really helpful. Wolf in sheep's clothing. You've got the facts on them. They're trying to change what's being said, or cloud your judgment, or how they're being seen. But it's a massive tower moment for them. So it's either them trying to pretend it wasn't a tower moment. You could have even named them, or described or said something, and they've had to like not spit their drink out when they was listening, or keep a real poker face, because either you're describing them, talking about them, or something, or they know that you're linking it. Something like that. You're actually on point, maybe closer than you even realize. Yeah. Okay, so I feel I will leave that there. There's enough for you to think over, but you're really close on something, and it's so detrimental for either this masculine or the people linked to him that are probably still hiding. Yeah. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye. Bye bye.